we're here in our garden, and I'm going to show you what my garden in China looks like. So, all right, here is my garden. So basically, this garden, and I would be shooting this on my DSLR, but I forgot the memory card, so I'm going to have to shoot it on the GoPro. But you can see around, there's like, I don't know what you would call this, something like jungle, basically. There's trees and bushes and all this weeds, and we cleared it back about 2 years ago, and we started trying to grow stuff, and you can see, here we go. So right here I've got red chard, yellow chard, white chard. Here's my kale. I'm a little embarrassed, actually. It keeps getting eaten by the insects. I've been spraying some neem oil, but to no avail. Here's my red mustard greens, and these are delicious. Southern Giant mustard greens, Florida broadleaf mustard greens, and they are all super tasty. I mean, it's basically like a spicy spinach. They're super awesome. And you can see right here, we've got okra, and Emily actually came by today and watered the okra. And this is a funny story about the okra. We planted okra last year, and we ate okra quite a bit. But when we left for the summer, it actually seeded. You can see, like, here's a thick spot of okra, and we took them and replanted them individually. And you can see the white coloration on the leaves. It's definitely too cold for okra this time of year, even in Guangdong, because we're right in the middle of the winter. And I mean, today it's warm enough, but I think we've had a few cold nights, and so it just hasn't been optimal. All right, here's our herbs. You can see I've got sage. I've got several different types of mint. I really like mint. We use it in like chutney or something like that. It's very delicious to make a sauce out of. There's thyme and lemon thyme, and we've got purple basil, which is really beautiful. If you can see those purple leaves. And then we've got a regular, something like an Italian basil. It's just a broadleaf basil. Lemon balm, which was doing good, and it looks not so good now. That's chocolate mint straight ahead there, and then some more basil, some varieties there, and I think, is that oregano?
Yes.
That's oregano right there.
It's doing pretty good.
And yeah, it's actually going. So's the other one. It's weird. Like, originally I ordered these plant sets online off of Taobao in China, and when I ordered it on Taobao, they came and some of the sets were like basically dead when I put them in the ground. And so a lot of stuff died. But okay, here are my tomatoes, and these are all different heirlooms. I've got something, what do we have here? What is it? Brandywine, and something called not Mr. Stripey, it's Striped Roman. And I also have something my dad actually, it's his own actually personally developed heirloom called the Las Lajas, which is a Honduran tomato, which is also pretty tasty. You can see it's just starting to put off flowers. It may be too cold for tomatoes, but I thought I'd give it a try, and if nothing else, it'll help prepare the soil. And then here are our purple peas, or purple beans rather.
They're gonna look like this.
Oh, yeah. So it's Phalios, Vulgarius, Lin in Latin, and you see the Chinese there. No English interpretation, but it actually looks like a purple whole pea to me. Then I've got some snow peas that I planted down here, and I actually need to start winding them, helping them catch on to the string so they'll climb and grow. And you can see some of them have already started to do it on their own, like this guy here. Tell the runners are grabbing on pretty well. So here we go, some more. These are potatoes. We put some potatoes in our garden, and they are growing really well, actually. I was surprised for it being so cool outside. And here's a banana tree that I literally just took this banana tree out of the jungle over there. There's sort of a mountain, and there's a trail that me and Emily run on, and I just dug these up. They're growing wild in the jungle. There was too many of them in one spot. There was probably like 20 or 30 banana trees in a clump. So I don't know, I guess they had just like seeded themselves there, or maybe the banana stalk had fallen over. My understanding is sometimes the suckers which is like the little, if you don't know what a sucker is, then you're probably not going to understand anyways, but the little suckers shoot up, and it was too thick to produce any bananas, so I was just going to try and see if we could get some bananas going here too. So anyways, this is the garden. Oh, I've missed a few things. Here's some hot pepper, and it looks really beat up and bad because it's done for the most part. I mean, I still got to... Yeah, that's right. This pepper plant is like, how many months? Like 16 months old? So we put these pepper plants in 16 months ago, and they're still growing. It just never gets cold enough in Guangdong to cool off. Here's some basil. That is, if Emily walks over, you can see it's waist tall. It's higher than your waist, just up to your chest.
And it keeps flowering.
Yeah, it keeps flowering, and we keep cutting it back. Here's that purple basil. I'm gonna eat some right now, actually. Yeah, it's really good. Sometimes when you get basil really big, you get kind of that licorice flavor in there, but this is actually pretty sweet. All right. And here we've got some type of Chinese broad bean. I'm not really sure what it's gonna make, but we thought we'd give it a try. And right here, this is garlic. You can tell we got quite a bit of garlic going. And then, of course, these are all spring onions and green onions. And anyways, I thought I'd just give you a quick look at my garden. We're gonna plant a couple of chocolate mint today, which are pretty cool. They're like mint, and they sort of do have a chocolatey taste. So you can use it in desserts or something like that. All right, I'm gonna walk around. So I'm not the only person that's got a garden here, and I've actually been asked by a few people from my YouTube channel, like, how do you have a garden? Where do you get a garden from? And it's kind of a long story. We started out just with like a balcony garden, and it grew and grew and grew, and then our second apartment we wound up putting in another balcony garden, and it grew into where we had no space to hang our clothes to dry because, well, dryers are a rare commodity in China. So anyways, we wound up looking for another spot to garden, and the first place I tried was just some like leftover land around school that they hadn't actually landscaped. And then I decided, then I was asked to not garden there, so I stopped. I was kind of embarrassed a little bit, actually. And so I started looking around, and I have a friend who is actually, he was born in China, and he lived in Germany for a while. And he was really friendly, and it was really nice of him to help us. And he found us a place that we could garden. You can see all this here is garden. And here's green onions. And this you've maybe never seen before, but it's a type of green in China. And they cut these and stir fry them. And they grow almost basically like a weed. I mean, they just grow really well in this climate. And so anyways, my friend found out that there was a whole bunch of people back here gardening, and you can see there's just like there's still more space that we could take, but we haven't, and we don't really have the best spot. The best spots are over here. See, this lady's got a little bit of a garden going here, and the thing that's better about her location, you can see that down there, is she has water. I have to like hike with a big bucket to fill it up and water our garden. And I think we're basically the only garden without water. But this lady here is actually really friendly, and she talks to me about my vegetables, and she's always trying to give me advice and ask questions because she doesn't know what some of the vegetables are. Here's some cilantro this lady's growing here. And I'm not sure if this, I think this is a type of garlic as well. You can see she's got a little bit of garlic going too. And then she told us that something in here was, in English, I think you call it open heart vegetables. You can see it's just starting to shoot up everywhere. It looks like grass when the first leaves come up, and then the real leaves are frilled like that. It's a type of green. So, anyways, let's walk on and see some more heavy farming. You can look ahead and see where Emily's at. Here's a papaya tree right here. Someone's just growing it, and These things grow incredibly fast, actually, and they just keep putting out fruit. There's some bigger ones over there. Hey, walk over there, Emily. Or no, look where you're at. Look up.
Oh, yeah, this
Yeah,
one.
you can see a papayas all growing up in the tree there.
One over there, too.
So it's definitely tropical enough. And here is basically the same Chinese broad beans that I have growing, and you can see this lady is growing them too. And
judging from this, we probably have ours too close together.
no, we did, but no, look at that. That's the same thing too.
Oh, that's true.
And they're all together. So yeah, maybe ours are too close together. I might need to thin that out. Really, honestly, I don't spend very much time in the garden. Me and Emily kind of maybe spend 30 minutes a week in the garden. So we've just been really busy with classes. Here's some other types of greens. You can buy this one at the grocery store. Had it before, it's pretty tasty. And it's sort of like a type of cabbage, actually. I know it's shooting stuff up that looks sort of, you can see this one has already bolted. And if you don't know what bolted means, it just means that it's shot a flower up and it's creating seed. And so you can eat this. These are actually tasty. It might remind you of something like broccolini or broccoli or something. And here's some more types of, this looks like kale, Emily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's some kind of Chinese kale. That's like that broccoli kale. That's what that is.
And it's getting eaten too.
Yeah, so we're not the only people having all our vegetables eaten. And you can see it just keeps going, so we'll keep walking. But it is very cool to see all this farming going on a college campus. And hey, that's another question. People might wonder, like, why are there a bunch of gardens on a college campus? Well, here's your answer. You can see these buildings back here are the teachers' apartments. And in the teacher apartments, it's a little different culturally in China. A lot of times, someone gets a job, like here at Beishida, and then they get an apartment because they plan on working here long term. And then they'll move their family in with them, like their mother or father, or sometimes both, or even both sets of in-laws. And the in-laws have a lot of time on their hands because you're forced to retire most of the time in China around 60 years old. And so they come down here in the garden. And I should make another video about that sometime, about living with relatives. Here's some okra. Hey, Emily, check it out. Yeah, so this okra that's growing here, which is looking much better than ours, but still, it's not doing good in the cold. You see the white leaves, but you can see the little okra sprouted there. We actually gave those seeds to the lady, or to the man. We gave okra seeds to several people because all these local farmers, most of them did not know what okra was. Okra is also something you don't see a lot of in Guangdong in China, but it does exist. And here is, what is this, bailuobo, right? See them in there? This is a type of white radish, or bailuobo in Chinese. And you can see them sticking out of the ground, actually. But they do all sorts of stuff with radishes in China. They basically will make like little radish salads that are pickled, or little appetizers. Very tasty. Here's some lettuce. Very, very pretty lettuce. This looks like butter crunch, maybe. I don't know how you would say this type of lettuce in Chinese, but it's lettuce, qing cai. And you can see over there more and more stuff. So let's keep walking. Let's keep checking it out. You can see here, what do we got? What is this? It's like some type of red cabbage, I think. And let's keep going. There's some nice cabbage too. Lots and lots of pretty cabbage and lettuce right now, which is also what I'm having luck with. Of course, in the cold season, that's what you grow. The only difference is in America right now, if I was in my hometown and I was working on my family's farm, there would be nothing growing because it would be way too cold. But here in Guangdong, and I mean, this is the middle of the winter. We're in January here, and you can see vegetables are going strong because of the tropical climate. I like this one too, and I don't know what you call this. It's another leafy grain that I think is usually cooked, but very tasty.
There's more okra over there, also doing that very well.
Are these radishes too? No, what is this?
I don't know.
Alright, let's keep walking. What do you say is over here?
More really ugly okra.
Oh yeah.
Okra just
It's
looks
kind of
like-
funny because we gave these seeds and then people have started, it looks to me like they've been collecting the seed like we did
Yeah.
and replanting. So it's an heirloom variety of okra that we have, and it has been spreading, and I like to see all the farmers are now growing okra. So it's kind of funny, like I guess we've introduced a new vegetable to this area in China. It's exciting to see them like trying to grow something different. There's a lot of vegetables too. And I'll say again, okra is not something you never see. It's just a lot more rare. But this is like a maze, and you can see they just build tons and tons of gardens along this little stream. I'll step to the edge. You can see the water down there, and on the other side, you can see they're actually doing a little terrace work. But looks very nice. I'm gonna keep hiking over, see what I can find. Yeah, look here, you can see all sorts of gardening tools and stuff. Lots of veggies, more veggies. It's pretty. And over there, that to me, this area over on the other side looks like the best of the gardening stuff over here. Very nice soil here in the bottom of the creek. The soil that we had was just red clay, and what we wound up having to do was we composted like every bit of we composted all of our food scraps for basically over the course of 2 years, and over a while we were able to amend the soils and successfully start growing something. I'm just gonna set this here for a second. I gotta tie my shoe. I don't know where Emily went. I guess she went the other way. That's weird. And so I'm gonna step across. There's even concrete down here. Somebody is serious about their gardening. All right, look at this. And some of this actually looks as if it's being grown for sale. I don't even think it's being grown for just the families. There's almost too much of it. I have the feeling like that cabbage down there will probably wind up in a small grocery store or something. But really beautiful. Here's some tomatoes. I think that these tomatoes are also my heirloom seeds again. So I've introduced both mortgage lifter tomatoes, striped Romans, brandywines, and Lajas, and you can see a lot of other people are trying to grow tomatoes right now too. And here's how a lot of times, which is very different than the US, they will string their beans or peas. It's like this. They take bamboo and they terrace it. It's very time consuming compared to like poles, but they definitely have plenty of people power in China. So yeah, you can see those are peas, similar to ours, a little older. Another papaya tree. Here's some corn in the early stages. Seems like an interesting time to plant corn. I don't know. That's another thing. I can never figure out when to grow what in China. Ni hao. 中文怎么说？这个
盖菜。
盖菜。
哎。
哦。
盖菜。
我喜欢盖菜，就是好吃。So you can see she's got a lot of nice vegetables growing here. And some cilantro.
这是香菜。
香菜。
对。
对。这是什么？
萝卜。
萝卜。
对。
白萝卜。
白萝卜对。
哦，白萝卜。
长出来那个。
Which means white radish, and it's really tasty. And she's doing a very good job. I'd say better than the other lady over there. Oh, 谢谢. Oh, here comes Emily, drinking my milk tea.
Our milk tea.
I want some milk tea. See the little tapioca pearls in the bottom? Those things are awesome. It's a drink and a food.
It's like drink with gummy bears in it.
It's kind of gross.
It's like gummy bears, like consistency, but
I was talking to her.
without the sweetness.
Her radishes look really good, but isn't that weird? They're growing corn right now.
I know. Hey, did you see the tomatoes
I mean, like, the corn's not in the late stages, like harvest. It's like just starting. This is almost like spring. It's the middle of the winter, but in Guangdong, it's like spring. Yeah, these are our tomato seeds, I'm sure.
They look like our tomatoes.
They are. That's not a hybrid.
That's awesome.
You see how broadleaf? I know. I was just talking to the video. We've introduced a lot of species. So, I feel like I'm doing my part. Let's see what we can see from up here. Yeah, that is some really good gardening going on down there. Look, that's like a farm. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That is the way that's supposed to be done. Some people, I think, are doing it as a hobby like us, and others, like I said before, I think it's almost on a commercial scale. This is for sale.
I think that they're making...
There's no way one family in an apartment over there will eat that much cabbage, and it's one person growing that.
No, but I think they're doing it for their family.
I think there's, yeah, and I
'Cause
think
some
they're
of the-
making money for their family too. That's a farm.
But some of the older people who have talked to us, they said, why do you guys have a garden? And we're like, what do you mean? And they said, you're not rich. Or you're rich.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
true.
not
They have
poor.
said that.
You're not poor.
You're not poor, so
poor
why are you
now.
doing this? And actually, we're about to get up to the biggest area. Let me show you. There's a little lake over here, a little pond. I think that's what feeds the stream on the other side. So I'm not going to go in there. There are some poisonous snakes in Guangdong. I don't want to get bit. Some thick weeds. It's probably cold enough they're not around. And here's some more beautiful vegetables. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, this vegetable grows like a weed. It is right there. I don't think anyone's cultivating that. Yeah, so I guess I'll try to do a second video with some like close-ups and show you what's out here. But anyways, mostly this video is for my dad. He's just been wanting to see what my garden looks like and what's going on. But you can see out through here, plot after plot after plot of gardens, and there's water down there. Looks like there's fish. What did you see, Emily? Ah.
我们有番茄， so 一般米。
Yeah, Emily's talking to this lady about her tomatoes here. She said that, Emily said in Chinese, your tomatoes.
河南种也有番茄是吧？
啊，有啊有啊。
我看到了。
啊。
自己种的好吃一点。
Nah, Joya. I don't think that is our tomato though. They seem to be too baseball shaped. But you can see this lady, this little old lady's hauling big buckets of water up to her garden up here. And this time of year it's a little dry. And so there's a lot of hand watering that's got to go on. I'm going to go up and talk to her a little bit. 什么菜？这是什么？
那是红心菜。
红心菜。
对呀，红心菜。
She just called it like red 芹菜，红芹菜。
红心菜那什么？是不是？
哦。
是不是红心菜呀
Here's something like
我
broccoli.
没有这样的菜哈，
Ah.
很少哈。那个是菠菜。
Ah.
这是西柚。他们种的都很好，我种的都不长。
Ah, 谢谢。So these ladies were also very friendly. Most of the people we meet that are gardening are very friendly. But funny story is one of the ladies next to us is not friendly. She's actually really rude, and every time she sees me in Chinese, and I'm talking about the not nice lady. So far I've only met one lady that's not nice. Everybody I've met gardening or farming is nice. But one lady always tells me how I'm doing everything wrong. And it's not constructive criticism. She just basically tells me how ugly everything is and how it looks like crap. And I think it's a little hypocritical, honestly, because her garden is completely consumed by weeds. So I think she's got a little bit of a self-esteem problem when it comes to her garden. But you can see, like, I can't even hardly compete with the beautiful gardening going on here. And the main reason why is they've got water and they've got the bottom soil, and they were... And they deserve it, you know. I'm just a foreigner. It's amazing to even have a little piece of land that I can farm on. I think it's probably extremely rare, but I don't know that for sure. And look at that.
Okra.
More okra. I can't even believe it.
People were sharing our seeds for sure.
Yeah. So when we started the okra 2 years ago, yeah, there's more okra on this side. When we started the okra 2 years ago, I decided to grow okra because I thought in this climate, it's usually so hot most of the year and so humid that here comes a big concrete truck. They're building and building in China. All right, yeah, that's pretty, a lot of dust. And what was I saying? Forgot. Oh well, I'm sure you'll remember because you're watching a video. You can back up. There's some more Louisville. Looks like Louisville.
We started okra
That's like
2 years ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
We shared it with maybe 1 or 2 people, but actually now you can see, like, we've never given it to these people, but everyone shares everything. So
yeah, and when we first started the okra, we gave it to 3 different farmers, and all 3 of them had never heard of the Chinese name or the Chinese vegetable and had never grown it. And now I've noticed,
which is probably why it looks so bad at every place.
yeah,
Okra
it's
always looks awful.
it's the wrong time of year to be growing it, and I planted it, and I don't know if the people that have the seeds are like, well, it's his vegetable, maybe he knows, and they copied me or what.
Look how old these pepper plants are, though.
This jalapeno.
Look at how
Yeah,
old.
here, do this.
Look at how
You can
thick.
see the stalk on this pepper plant, and this is a jalapeno pepper plant. Is humongous. It's like a tree.
It's probably years
So.
old.
So that's something that usually only happens in the tropics or subtropics because you get a night that's cold enough to kill it and it dies, but here it'll last 2 or 3 years. I'm coming over here to get out of the dust for a second. Watch out, here comes a man on a bicycle.
Oh, that's how you get back there.
Yeah, ni hao.
Ni hao.
He wasn't very talkative.
We should just like start building up in there.
As soon as we do, someone will be angry.
Did you know this? They have basically built raised beds in the creek.
Yeah. No, this is... Oh, that goes to the garden too, but this keeps on going.
Oh, look.
Oh, yeah. You see down in there? And over on the other side, they're building a parking lot. Actually, a month ago, those awnings weren't there.
No.
And now there's cars parked there. China builds stuff so fast, it is crazy. You just wouldn't even understand the magnitude unless you've seen it. It's just unreal. Sometimes we leave a neighborhood, come back 3 weeks later, and there's new skyscrapers. I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it really is true. Let's see what else is out here. Yeah, I've actually never been down this path. This is the first time I've walked back here. I just kind of want to see what's going on. There's an old, hey look, it looks like one of the houses out on Chiao.
Yeah.
It's like old. What kind of trees do we got going here? Like a Chinese magnolia or something? I think it's,
More gardens up there.
I think these are ornamental trees though.
So if you
That
want,
could be mangoes actually.
So if you want to see more gardening with a better camera, leave a comment below.
Yeah, if you actually give any sort of interest in this video whatsoever, leave a like and comment or whatever. I've thought about doing gardening stuff before. For those of you who don't know, I'm very much into gardening. I love growing fresh vegetables. My dad grew up as a farmer, and I used to work with my grandpa, and it's just kind of in my blood. I love to farm. So if you enjoy watching videos about farming or gardening, like and subscribe. I'll actually make some informational videos for you if you want to. I can talk about composting. I can talk about organic growing vegetables and some sustainable methods to get good tasty veggies. I like this little knoll, man. Whoever came up in here is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I guess I never mentioned, I mean, land rights in China are just completely different. You can basically, if it's government land a lot of times, unless it's protected, you can move up in there and just start farming. That's what these people have done. Not legitimately. I mean, the government or the school has the ability to come shut you down and stop you, but they haven't. So I think they're just too worried to make all the teachers of the entire school's families angry. So I think they just let it continue. That's what I think's going on. Oh, check out those Coca-Cola signs in Chinese that are old and metal. I would buy one of those in a heartbeat. That is awesome.
Dude, you should buy one of those.
I should. I need to find out who grows in the spot. That would be the coolest thing to put like in a... Yeah, look at that. Look at that Coca-Cola with the Chinese. They're just using it as a retainer, but it's old. It's like at least 20 years old. It's on fiberglass.
Let's come back in here and get it.
I should be a picker. Hey, there's another one down there not being used.
It's broken.
I'm not gonna get that thing.
That one right there. That one's like awesome. It's like perfectly.
Yeah, I could offer somebody for money, some money for that. They might actually.
I'll buy it. That's awesome.
I think everything in China has a price, unfortunately. You can probably buy a panda bear and eat it if you had enough money.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch more down there. Dude, we need to come down here when these people are here and buy that thing.
I wonder
Awesome.
if they'd sell us a piece or not.
I'm sure they would.
It's retaining their garden at the moment.
So we'll bring him something else.
That looks. See, they did raised beds. That's what
I'm
we.
saying, they did
Ah,
raised
gosh,
beds.
that's awesome. I would like to do raised beds, but I teach too much, so I don't have time to. That is awesome. Look at raised beds, and they've got water flowing all the way around, all of it to soak the deep part of the soil. Man, they're doing it. This is the best one I've seen. It's right in here.
There's raised beds out there too, where we just were.
Yeah, but not look
I know.
with multiple.
I know, it's awesome.
It's crazy.
We
So
need
awesome.
to-
It's all human labor. There's not a you might see a little rototiller, one of those tiny little 1 horsepower, half a horsepower rototillers once in a while, but nobody's using tractors or anything. Just hose. So if you look straight ahead as I walk, you can see that mountain in the distance is a pretty good sized mountain right behind our school. And it kind of separates us from downtown Zhuhai, or it did, and then they built a tunnel through that mountain. And it separates us from Zhuhai, but we also get all of Guangzhou's pollution stuck right here in this valley. Once in a while you can see it's kind of foggy. Bless you.
This could be turned into a garden. That's what we should go.
Yeah, but that's being used for something right there. They're growing lotus root in there now.
Rude.
Rude, it's theirs.
I'm just kidding.
So, anyways, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook. I should probably get one of those Twitter things. Alright, peace. Thanks for watching Wandering in China. See you later. You drank like that whole milk tea.
Yeah.
You can give me like 2 sips of that milk tea. Thank you for that.